The hits just keep rolling on the show today because one of my favorite people in all the world, Hally Leadbetter, is joining us in studio. Round of applause for Miss Hally Leadbetter.
Thank you. Big studio audience. Golf clap. You know, you mentioned all those fabulous guests. I'm very happy to be here, Ben. Solly, though, I played St. Andrews with him, funnily enough, a few years ago. Yeah, so very apropos here with the British Open.
I was about to watch their video. They reposted it, something that they had posted with their content recently.
Chris and I played St. Andrews on Tiger Woods EA Sports Golf Edition.
No, I shot like a 58. It was amazing.
Yeah. Will Salvatore shot a 48, so he's feeling very good.
I went to the Church of St. Andrews. So good.
I know it's the 150th Open Championship, so it's quite a big deal. But why is this the ultimate test in golf?
You know, I think I've been watching a lot of golf channels. You wake up and it's on at like 4 a.m. this week. And I think that it's just so special. So the golf course itself, it's incredibly, like strategy is so important there. Very similar to Augusta National. You just need to be in the right places. But I also think that aside, it's also just the sheer pressure of playing at the home of golf. This golf course has been around for hundreds of years. This is where the game originated from. So I think it's that, yes, the golf course is challenging, but it's also the fact that, I mean, if ever you were to win a major, maybe the Masters would be in line with this, but all the players are talking about just how much this would mean them to win in St. Andrews.
That's the thing that gets me as a golf fan, is when you see the players have such an affinity and such respect for the hallowed grounds of the course. That kind of then seeps into their game a little bit. They might get a little tighter out there.
For sure. And I will make a point, though, what's so different about a place like St. Andrews versus Augusta, right? Like Augusta could not be more exclusive. I mean, what are the chances you're going to get an invite to play there, right? Probably not high if you're, a normal guy or gal.
I feel like they invite fill-in talk show hosts all the time. No?
Yeah.
They're meeting the members. What do you do? I fill in once a week on the Rich Eisen Show. No?
Yeah, then they'll have you out for sure. Yeah. I mean, but generally it's pretty difficult. Whereas St. Andrews, it's just a completely different vibe. You've got the people of the town just walking their dogs on the course. It's public land.
Yeah, who knows like what is happening on the sides there. It's public land. Ben Lyons filling in for Rich on the Rich Eisen Show. Welcome back to our radio audience. Hally Leadbetter joining us in studio. But yeah, what is that like where you just have a regular neighborhood and then you have the entire golf world descend upon this tiny little town?
Oh, it's wild. I mean, I got to go to St. Andrews to the Open Championship, I think when I was about 12 or 13. We have a family photo, and I remember watching my mom sort of tear up because Tom Watson was playing in his last Open Championship, and I was like, Mom, why are you crying? This old guy's walking over a bridge. Like, I didn't get it, and then I didn't understand why it was such a big deal, and now obviously I do. But the town loves it. I mean, I was watching a little documentary about St. Andrews and the town, and even there, everybody just plays golf for fun. They have like a putting club, and they just, the whole town really embraces it. And obviously they have St. Andrews, but they actually have 7 courses there as well. So everybody that lives in St. Andrews plays golf or is a fan of golf.
You know what I love about you, Hally, is that your childhood has helped like shape your experiences now as an adult, and you're able to create content around the game of golf infused with this very unique upbringing that you had. For folks who aren't familiar, your dad's probably the swing instructor for an entire generation. So you have these great family memories of going to St. Andrews as a kid and doing all these things. So how does that now sort of impact what you do around the game of golf today?
You know what? I would say, I mean, Ben, you and I have talked about this all the time. Golf is to put it lightly, not necessarily the most progressive game. And having grown up in the golf bubble, I mean, I used to think the Golf Channel like morning drive show was like the morning news. Like I thought that's what everybody watched to kick off their day.
Good world view and
I was like, wait a second. The biggest issues in the world aren't backstopping and like And so I think for me, people ask me how long I've worked in the golf industry. Well, I'm about to turn 30. So I'm like, well, 30 years. I was essentially conceived into this industry. And I think that it's given me a really good understanding of the ins and outs. And I've made a lot of friends as I, grew up in Florida, moved to New York. Now I live here in Los Angeles. And I meet a lot of people that love golf, but maybe don't really understand why we do certain things. And I think so for me, I'm like, okay, I can sort of help dismantle the game in terms of the things that maybe need to change or should change and evolve from the inside out.
But think about it. When you were growing up, there wasn't this whole scene of golf content creation.
No.
They didn't have brands like No Laying Up. There weren't creators like Hally Leadbetter doing her thing. So now you've got this whole other energy around the game of golf. So how do you think golf has changed now that we have brands like Malbon and Rada and all this cool stuff happening, Eastside Golf?
Yeah, I am loving just how many celebrities and just people that aren't just your standard just white dude playing golf that are taking up the game. I got to play, actually yesterday I played golf with Michael Pena, who is obsessed with golf, picked up the club when he was about like 25, but loves it. Just played at the ACC celebrity event in Tahoe where Tony Romo won. And I think it's really important for people to see people like Michael Pena, Schoolboy Q, the Malbons that you mentioned, Malbon Golf. I think it's really important to get people that you wouldn't necessarily picture necessarily playing golf for them to, sort of celebrate their love of the game. I mean, I don't know, Ben, another well-known Ben Baller, who's like a famous jeweler.
Yeah, my nickname in high school till he came around. Totally, I get it.
Ben, but I mean, I was texting with him yesterday, and he's like, I play 6 days a week, just had his first hole-in-one. I mean, this guy is like...
hole-in-one already?
Ben Baller has a hole-in-one and you don't, Brockman.
He just started playing like 4 months ago.
Yeah, and he is addicted.
He's so mad.
And
he's so mad. He was talking hole-in-ones earlier today, and he was freaking out.
Oh my God. I saw him at a Tops event a while, not too long ago. I'm like, you have a hole-in-one and I don't.
How many do you have?
I have 3.
Such a flex.
Wow.
Such a flex.
But I mean, this is a guy that has 2 million followers on Instagram, known for creating the craziest jewelry for rappers like Drake. And he's posting about on his Instagram, he's doing polls like, would you rather have an ugly swing and never break 80 or have a single digit handicap and have I was just like,
He's
yeah.
into the
And
golf
I'm like,
culture, yeah.
right. It's super into golf culture. And I can only imagine like his followers that are following him for, maybe what he used to be primarily posting about are now like, hey, okay, golf. All right.
That's how golf's going to grow. And you're going to have some
Exactly.
different energy around the game. And you
That's just the name Ben Baller did the chain.
That's right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Now, did Ben Baller do your chain? I'm sitting here peeping your chain on the monitor. Did he also?
Ben Baller did not do this chain, but
not do
you
that
know what's
chain.
funny? When I met him, he was like Ben Baller, as in Ben Baller did the chain. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I know, I've heard your name.
This is why I love Hally Leadbetter, because she can come in here and say she's playing golf with Michael Pena, she's texting Ben Baller, right? But it's like the least Hollywood person
Dropping
I know.
Schoolboy
right?
Q.
Schoolboy Q. Your Instagram, you're playing golf with everybody. You're opening up Top Golf with George Lopez. You're doing all this cool stuff here in LA. Who has been sort of the best celebrity golfer? Who are some of the Hollywood big face names that we all, bold face names we know?
Let's see. Well, my first celebrity interview that I did on the golf course was Macklemore. And talk about someone with passion for the game. I mean, the guy started his own golf clothing line.
Yeah, Bad Birdie, that's right.
Yes, Bogey Boy. Sorry,
Bogey Boy, sorry, he's not Bad
But
Birdie.
Bad
Yeah,
Birdie also
That's another guy, yeah.
makes some great stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is obsessed. I will say, Ben, this is new information, top secret stuff. On Monday, I am very excited. I get to do my celebrity interview series with the one and only Jim Nance.
Oh, hello.
At Pebble Beach.
Hello, friends.
Yes, hello. I've never played Pebble Beach, and honestly, I'm very happy. If these are the only 3 holes I ever play
Bring your quarters in.
Wow. Like, that
in my entire life.
That is so cool. Even
Yeah.
for someone who grew up in golf royalty, you've worked in golf, the highest level, just to see the smile on your face and to see how excited you are to go do that.
I'm
is
so
amazing.
excited. I mean, what do you ask Jim Nance? I mean,
Well, he has a replica of what, 12 at Augusta in his backyard, right?
He's got
Is it
so he's
12?
got a replica of 7 at Pebble in his backyard.
that's it, 7.
But what I love about Jim Nance, because I got to hit a shot on that little par
Oh, okay,
3.
great.
he blasts the Masters theme song music and then commentates you as you do it.
It's half. It's like 70 yards or something.
Yeah. And like a limited fly golf ball and stuff. But
You've played some weird holes over the years. Jim
Yes.
Nance's house. You've been to that house in Malibu.
yes, the house in Malibu is incredible.
That's a really weird
Yeah.
one.
Have you
Where
ever
else?
played Mark Wahlberg's
Oh, yeah.
four-hole
I have
backyard
not.
course?
No.
Hey, Holly, what are you doing? It's 5 a.m. I just played 18 holes.
Yeah, with his AirPods in.
Did you eat a protein bar? Did you pray? What are you doing?
Say hi to your
Love that
mother,
man.
man.
How do you motherfucker?
I love that man. Hally Leadbetter joining the show. Ben Lyons in for Rich on the Rich Eisen Show. Everything going on in the world of golf right now is centered on this whole LIV Tour thing, and we got to talk about it because it is the story of the moment. Tiger spoke yesterday at the Open Championship, and I thought he had some really great words about the situation. What are your thoughts on LIV? How do you think it impacts the game long term? And that was a deep breath you just took.
Yeah, it's a deep breath. You know, the LIV thing is interesting. I love the PGA Tour. I do a lot of work for the PGA Tour. I can understand the need and want for something different. You know, that being said, do I think that LIV is the answer? Not necessarily. I try to put myself, I mean, it's really easy to say, oh, I would never take money from the Saudis, but have you ever had a $200 million check, like $200 million check in your face?
It's not noon yet here in LA, so the day's full of possibility.
Yeah.
I always try and keep a positive outlook.
Never say never.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, from a moral standpoint, I don't think it's, they're obviously not good people, and the money does not come from a great place. I wish that it was coming from somewhere else, but I can understand the sort of temptation for these guys that are kind of over the hill, if you will, on the back end of their careers, that are just like, hey, I'm not really going to be competing with the Justin Thomases, Scotty Schefflers of the world anymore. Let me sort of get my 70, 80 million and sail off into the sunset. Like, I can really understand how, and I've watched the broadcast. It's not bad. Like, it's pretty good. It's quick. I mean, I originally was like, shotgun start. That's kind of weird. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, this is actually nice because you're just going boom, 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 boom from one player to another. But I feel like the PGA Tour is in a tough spot. This is kind of going to force them to evolve. And I think, which they already have sort of put in that new series for next year with the 8 tournaments. They're going to have like insane purses, almost the same amount as a LIV Tour. So if anything, I think it's, I'm not sure about the longevity of it. And I think it'll be also, I mean, really what it comes down to is, will the LIV Golf Tour be granted official world golf ranking points? Because right now, all official world golf ranking tournaments are 4 rounds. And there are a lot of tournaments that are a lot smaller and have less stacked fields than LIV Golf events, but they're 4 rounds. And there are no tournaments that are shotgun starts. So LIV is going to go, they've put in their application. I saw on Twitter yesterday that they are now reviewing the application. But if they grant them points, then all those players will be allowed, potentially can earn enough points to play in the majors. But if they don't grant them points, then some of those players that have not won majors yet are going to be forced to choose between going to LIV, taking their millions of dollars, or saying, no, I want to play in majors. And I think majors are really the thing that is, maybe if you're in it for the money, is really the thing that's going to make you potentially stop and think, hold on a second, do I actually want to do this?
Wow, it's such an interesting moment in the game, and the fact that it's the 150th Open Championship while this is all going on, as has all eyes on golf. Hally Leadbetter joining us, Ben Lyons in for Rich on the Rich Eisen Show. I learned from working with the PGA Tour that the PGA Tour, PGA, and LPGA all separate, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I had a chance to go to the LPGA event here in Los Angeles, which is so much fun. I hope everybody who gets a chance to go to an LPGA event in their local city gets a chance to do that. Talk to me about the LPGA Tour as we head into this, not there yet, but almost this post-Michelle Wie era.
Yeah, so the LPGA is a really exciting time right now. Nelly Korda's back. She had a blood clot in her arm, so we're so happy to see that she's healthy. I'm actually heading to Michigan tomorrow. I'm going to be doing the final round interviews for CBS for the LPGA team event.
Like that,
so
yes.
Very
Get that
excited
network
for
money,
that.
Hally, like it?
Yeah, it should be fun. It's the Dow event in Michigan, so we've got Jessica and Nelly teaming up. They call themselves Team Jelly, so look out for them. Marina Alex teaming up with the legend that is Kari Webb. So yeah, I think that there are a lot of really talented women on the LPGA, and it's going to be really interesting to see who sort of steps up. And I don't think you could ever fill Michelle Wie's shoes. I think she's just such an icon and such a unique, incredible person. But I'm hoping that we get some women that sort of step up and sort of I guess Michelle passes the baton in terms of being the face of the LPGA.
Continuing to push the sport and
Exactly.
the league forward. Talk to me a little bit about Michelle's impact on the sport. Obviously, she is an icon. She is known as one of the great players in the game. I've gotten to know her a little bit through you over the last little bit, but when she does walk away for good, which isn't yet, but when she does do that, what do you think her legacy is as a golfer?
Well, she won the U.S. Women's Open, won 5 times on the LPGA, obviously an incredible player. I think something that as a friend of hers and as a golf fan as well, I think a lot of people, what they don't realize about Michelle, because they're like, retire already. I don't think people realize that Michelle essentially has been a professional athlete since she was 10 years old. She played in her first LPGA event when she was like 12. So she has been grinding for her entire life. And so when you think about the stress that can put on her body, like she has pretty bad arthritis in her wrist. So she's had a baby. I think they're looking to expand their family. She's at the point now where, she's not in pain when she doesn't play. So she wants to be able to enjoy her life and be able to play golf casually and the occasional U.S. Women's Open. I know she wants to tee it up at Pebble Beach next year, which is going to be amazing. But I think the legacy far beyond her actual play on the golf course is going to be the things that she has done to push the women's game forward. I mean, she has an incredible partnership with LA Golf that she's incredibly invested in. Even now she's semi-retired. She's still on the LPGA Players Board. I mean, the other day I was having coffee with her and she's like, I gotta go. I got a board meeting. So she is still very invested in the LPGA. And what her and LA Golf did was put out this initiative for the LPGA players that sign with LA Golf. They're gonna pay for maternity leave and all of these incredible things that as a woman that plays in the LPGA that's essentially an independent contractor doesn't really have access to. So she has made a really big commitment, even though she's stepping away from the game, to continue to put her energy and actions to making sure that the women's game is in a good place from here on out.
No, incredible career, and I feel like just getting started in so many ways. Needs to work on the Mario Kart, but is doing big things. She's doing great. Hally Leadbetter in studio, Ben Lyons filling in for Rich on the Rich Eisen Show. You've been out in LA now for how long? About a year?
About a year, yeah.
Is it feeling like home?
Yes, slowly but surely. I've been here for about a year, but I feel like physically only probably been here for like 7 months.
Right, you're at a golf tournament every week. You're somewhere different. Yeah,
here very much. Yeah. But it's been great. Gotten to meet some cool people and play some cool golf courses.
What's the LA golf scene like for those watching and
golf
listening?
Scene. That's a great question. It's strong. After I go here, I'm gonna go to Redondo Beach. So minimal golf. They make really cool golf bags.
I heard you were hanging out there yesterday. Or were you there yesterday? Or you're supposed to go today?
No, I'm going today.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going today.
Yeah.
So there's some really cool niche. I mean, we talk about the evolution of the game and how it's just getting cooler. You've got brands like Minimal Golf and Number 33 making cool flavored toothpicks that look like teas. I don't know if you could use them as a tea, actually. That's something I really want to find out today. But then also you've got a place like Metalwood Studio, which is a really neat golf brand that just opened a store in La Brea.
Did they really?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And also you go in and I was talking to Cole, the owner there, and he's like, no, this isn't a pop-up. This is legit.
I actually have a store.
Here to stay. You're going to have a simulator in it. Ooh. So yeah, I feel like the LA golf scene is strong and it's only getting stronger. I mean, I know you go to the Penmar Social Club events. I've never been to one of those, but looking to get out there and make some new friends. So yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll put on my Instagram, hey, anybody in LA golf looking to play? And I'll get a ton of people that'll reply. So yeah,
Chris, strangest celebrity you've ever played with in LA, or just weird encounter, or kind of chance encounter? Not that they were weird, but just odd that you played with them.
Oh my gosh. Well, I have a Joe Pesci story that has to be told off air.
Okay.
Marty Fish, who recently played in the ACC, former winner, he won me a free travel golf bag in a charity golf tournament.
Nice.
So thank
I
you to
love
Marty.
that.
Nice. I remember.
I will say I got the opportunity to play Bel Air a couple weeks ago, and we had to let Dennis Quaid through.
Nice.
It was so bizarre. I mean, he was a nice guy, but it was like, first of all, the guy he'd played with took forever, and then we got up on the next tee box, and I don't know if he left it there on purpose, but I had to think he did. There was a ball in the tee box that said Dennis Quaid was here. No. I swear to God, I swear.
Did you take it?
Oh yeah, I
Okay,
have it
good.
sitting on my mantle.
Of course.
But I was like, I imagine, like, how cool do you have to be just to be like, thanks for letting me play through. I'm gonna leave this ball in the tee box for you.
It's gonna be Dennis Quaid. Inner space.
I played a round of golf with a guy named Stephen Bishop, who's an actor. He's going to be coming in studio here on Friday. He played David Justice in Moneyball.
Oh,
and
yes.
he's very good friends with Jim Brown, the legendary football player
Mr.
who
Brown.
came and joined the round. And I'm really good friends with Tom Felton, who played Draco Malfoy in the Harry Potter. So introducing Jim Brown to Tom Felton on a golf course was definitely a cool moment for me. Yeah, those two. Neither one had any idea who the other one was, and they just started telling stories about partying in London.
Oh,
So there
I
you go.
love that. That's what I love about golf. I mean, you can come from so many different walks of life. Like, I was paired the other day with like Quentin Tarantino's lawyer.
Oh, I played
And I
with
was
that guy.
like, yeah.
Yeah, I played with that guy.
Yeah. And it was just like, yeah, through Howard, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And I was just like, he's picking my brain. He's like, what are the guys out there that are like really fun to work with? I'm like, in what world would I have anything in common with Quentin Tarantino's lawyer? But we had enough to talk about for 5 hours. And that's just like the beauty of golf.
How's your game right now?
It is pretty solid, Ben. I last week didn't play a practice round. I have aspirations of qualifying for the U.S. Mid-Am. So last week I was like, you know what? I'm going to play in the Southern California Amateur Qualifier. Just going to wing it, no practice round, and just see where my game is at. Because I have not played a competitive round in 6 years.
It's an interesting approach because that's what Chris and I do every time we go to the golf
Yeah, well,
course.
I was like, I literally have no expectations.
Wing it, see where we're at. Yeah.
Yeah, and I shot 1 under. And I qualified.
That's very different than the experience you and I
What
have.
our game is.
Yeah, the
but that's
first part of that, let's wing it.
totally fine.
Second part,
No practice round. Wing it. Us. 1 under. Not.
not gonna happen. Oh, that's amazing. Well, I'm excited for you.
yeah,
Good challenge. Way to
thanks.
push yourself.
Awesome.
That's very cool.
Yeah, my boyfriend caddy for me.
Oh,
We had a blast.
yes, love that. Put
Yeah,
boy to work.
just show
Yes.
up and shut up. That's
Put
all
that
I
man
ask.
to work.
Yeah.